So first time we went live with cameras, we had all types of issues going on. But if you're watching us for the first time, or you meeting me for the first time, my name is Kenny. This is Gianna, my daughter.
Hi, I'm Gigi.
So yeah, so we on here. This basically wanted to have a conversation. I think this because I think for us that on Saturdays we come out here on this Allegheny Court and just have a conversation with my daughter. So I know the last time, unfortunately, we wasn't able to continue the conversation because it started getting busy out here, and there was so many people out here that it just made it awkward and weird. So we just decided to just call it a quits on that one. So if you haven't watched the first video, our last live, it's definitely up there. So just go out there and watch it. And just, like I said, this is going to be a continuation of that video. Um, I think as parents, it's important that we able to, from time to time, be able to sit down with our kids and have conversation and see where we at. To kind of take inventory of where we at in life. And although I have been extremely blessed to have my daughter in so many ways that especially when as I'm going through some navigating through some tough times right now. So how you feel today, G?
I'm feeling good.
she's a little she's still a little camera shy, which is understandable. It took me a little while for me to get comfortable, and I'm still not fully comfortable. I'm still trying to learn and to adapt, to become adaptable to making videos, I guess. But yeah. So you want to tell them what you have going on as far as your YouTube channel?
I started a YouTube channel for my poems and where I could talk about like my stories, and I could pretty much share like how I feel and my emotions because I've been writing for a couple of years. Every time like I feel like I can't talk, and that's just like a way I express myself. So yeah, check it out. It's called Gigi's Poems, and the link is in the description. So
Yeah, that's definitely yep. And I think how many poems do you have out there so far?
I have one, but one's dropping tonight, so make sure you check it out.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I love listening to your poems. I feel like for so many years I have had the privilege to be able to listen to your poems and
Yeah,
listen
cause
to.
I don't share my poems with anybody, so now I'm sharing it to everybody, and I'm gonna try my best to be as consistent as I am, like as consistent as my dad is. But yes, it's very new, and I'm very excited. So follow my journey.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Well, you already know I follow you, so like I said, like I was saying, I always had the privilege of being able to listen to your poems and seeing uh, how your poems has evolved throughout the years from being like. But let me ask you a question: Will you ever get to the point where you would put your poems out there, like when you was going through all your issues, when me and your mom was separating, and those poems you were writing? Would you be at some point? Would you be comfortable enough to tell the world that?
I think before I wasn't really too comfortable with sharing it with anybody, but like now, I mean, I think of it as it's just a way of expressing myself. I don't know. I just think of it more of like this is what I like to do, so I'm gonna share it.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think like maybe some other kids can make.
Relate to a lot of stuff I be saying.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Because I have so many poems. I have like over 100 poems that I just write where I write like on notes app and yeah, I have a lot. So I might just keep dropping videos and usually probably every Saturday, like my dad said. Like we're gonna go live maybe every Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday at this time around
and
12, twelve
and then
thirty.
I'm gonna start dropping videos maybe at like around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about it is that you know you can maybe become an outlet for kids that have gone or starting to go through it. And you seeing um, being the kid that's in the middle of two parents going through like a nasty separation, have to deal with um just being two parents that moved away from each other, whereas like so many states away. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many kids out here that might be going through similar situation, and now maybe in the future, maybe you can be the outlet of why you chose to go and live with your dad versus live with your mom, and why at some point you didn't want to live with me and you chose to live with your mom. I know everything. You know what I mean? Because like we worked through our issues and we talked it out, and I think as parents, this is super important that we not only honor our kids, but like I said, man, just build that communication, be able to talk to our kids because if you don't talk to your kid, man, believe me, it'll be the wrong person talking to them. That's the last thing you want. So a random person that can relate or give them or even in their best interest, you just give them advices. So or give them some crazy advice. So yeah. So like you said, like that'll be you already started that, so we'll be dropping that soon. Maybe sometimes we can start off my live with a portion of one of your poems,
And then y'all could figure out, or y'all could check
like a
out the
little
rest later.
yeah, that'd be cool, like a little snippet,
Yeah.
and then maybe redirect them to your channel.
Happy birthday, Austin Pitt. See, I don't know how to say your last name, but happy birthday. I wish you a very blessed and happy birthday.
Yeah, definitely happy birthday. Today's his birthday.
You know, it was my birthday this week.
Oh, happy birthday! If
God
you
bless.
if you don't mind, can we know how old you just turned? Put in the comments. Definitely shout out.
It's fun. It's in French.
Let's go, baby. Happy birthday. Um. So yeah. So uh, let's talk about like some of the bad news that we have come across this week that might potentially be the final straw on on our um on our last chapter. I think that in life we go through so many different chapters, and we can honestly both say that you and I have definitely have gone through plenty of them.
Yeah.
Where so for those that don't know, like I've been trying. For those that don't know, I've been trying to reset my life over at the age of 40, and believe me, it has not been easy at all. You know, and due to the economy and everything like that has been going on, I have been blessed to be able to. My brother and I started a company back in 2018, which was a home care agency, and prior to that, we worked. My brother and I worked at the same job at St. Christopher's Hospital for I want to say a good. I was there for 21, 22 years. He was there for about maybe 7 years, 7 to 8 years before we actually decided to start a company together. Now he's much younger than I. He's 10 years younger than I am. And when we first started, like I said, we didn't know anything about home care. We didn't. We just knew that we saw an opportunity. We knew that we was already in the health field, and we went for it. Like no questions asked. It took us about a year to acquire our license. So by 2019 is when we officially became contracted through the MCOs. Now this is something that I always say I wanted to speak about and put it out there, and maybe as time goes on, um, I'll start putting out more and more stories about stuff that I have went through as far as being in business for that many years. Now, if you watch some of my videos, I always said I've been in business for some time, but I wasn't able to talk about it due to HIPAA law and different like due to our contract. We're not really allowed to speak on a lot of things. But
Thanks for commenting and correcting me, Austin Pujele.
cool, cool. That's my daughter. She's gonna be reading the comments. So definitely, like I said, just put your comments on there, and we'll definitely get to them to talk so we can bust it up. But yeah, uh, so we started the company, like we got contracted in 2019, and the first couple of years it was It was amazing. We got to meet some incredible clients that has shared tons of stories. Um, Fast forward to the pandemic, we wound up losing half our clientele due to them getting sick and everything that was going on. And during that time, we had a
Thanks
huge
for
shift.
joining the live. It's okay. All the support is very much
Appreciated.
appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so yeah, yeah, like again, so pandemic hits, everything happens. Fast forward to where we at today. For the last few years, our company has been extremely struggling, barely to keep the doors open. And as of recently, we got the cancellation for the MCOs, which pretty much once we lost our contract with the MCOs, it pretty much puts us out of business. So our last date of being contracted through Keystone First will be, what was it, July 1st? It was July 1st, I believe it was, is when we, but yeah. So that changes everything. And sometimes you can look at something like that in a negative way. Like, it's easy to see that as like being negative and being upset. But in the same time, it's like we have done everything to keep these doors open, and sometimes that's how the business grow. Now, I'm telling you this, G. Someone that's trying to start your company at your age, and you trying to do the things you're trying to do. You cannot allow. You on the camera view? You can't allow stuff like this to bring you down, because when one door closes and God always opens another one. So prior to this, we was already trying to get into the boat industry.
Yeah, we were trying to. This is my dad's dream, and it has been for years. It's just when he started this company, it was booming. So and now he just really wants to go after what he been dreaming for so long, and he's gonna achieve it, and I'm gonna be here with him to help him achieve it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I know that this does change some things financially as far as being able to go to MMA and different things like that. Which is okay. We'll do what we gotta do, and eventually we'll be able to get back on our feet. So as of right now, hope if everything goes right, my cousin, he's gonna help me try to get land a job at his site. So that'll alleviate some stuff, and we already talked about downsizing on our last video, on how important it is to downsize and not be over your head as far as financially buying things that sometimes you can't afford, or buying things. So there's one advice I would give you, Gianna, as you continue your journey in building your personal company and growing. Like, it's easy to get sucked up into the idea that you need those beautiful cars and that huge mansion house and everything like that. But I tell you what, you know, if rather than go after all those stuff, I'd rather for you to be able to continue to grow your business, continue to save your money, continue to grow your money. Not necessarily save it, but continue to grow it, and and continue to grow it, and eventually I would like for you to have more life experience. I think that sometimes people get caught up on just buying cars and stuff, and they don't focus on the small things, life experience. Like for me, like I feel like us being here doing this together is priceless. There's
Mm.
nowhere in the world someone can put a price on what we're doing right now. We out here on this beautiful port. We have a vision of the you know you y'all guys want to see a little bit of what we surrounded by. You can put it in the comments, and we'll definitely do that if y'all put in the comments. But yeah, I feel like these moments are priceless. To be honest with you, how you feel about that?
Yeah, they definitely are. It's like we're gonna make memories and continue on our journey, no matter how hard it is and how um
Can you see?
yes, they can see me just going a little too close.
Okay.
And like no matter how hard it will be and how hard we have to face things, we're gonna face them. We're gonna get through this, and I hope y'all all that's watching and has been watching and has subscribed to my dad's YouTube channel can follow us on a journey.
Yeah, that's so true. And the reality is that we've been wanting to leave Philadelphia, and that was one of the main things that was holding us here in Philadelphia. So now that we no longer have the company, that makes us a little more flexible. And how, now it comes down to how we're gonna make this shift. So if everything goes right, it's crazy because I've been trying to get an internship on so I can get my seat time, get the remaining of my seat time. I do have some seat time. I didn't know that um, some of those rides and stuff like that that I experienced when I was younger. Within I can still use some of those seat times when I was riding out with my cousin Bo and different stuff like that. And now I know that, so I just in the next 90 days, my goal is to get 90 days more. I'm missing like 98 days, 98, 99 days on my logs, my seat time, in order in order for me to be able to get my test and then move forward. So I think that's one of those things that I'm locked in right now, and that's the what I'm trying to do. And it's so crazy how everything happened because uh, I just recently got an invitation to what is the Coast Guard analytics. Is the Coast Guard analytics something
It's where
seven?
you go out. Is that the way you go out for a tournament?
Yeah, yeah, and pretty much it's like you. So pretty much what you do is um, I just recently found out about this. That's why I said how good God really is, man. Because when one door closes, another one definitely opens up. And when that happened, I got the invitation to go out to do orientation. It gives me the ability to go out there and be a crew member on one of the Coast Guard patrol boats and help out with the maintenance, help and just help out with navigation and everything like that, and continue my seat time as a volunteer. So that's a huge blessing. Now I won't be able to do it every single day, but I can do it enough days where hopefully I can get my seat time, and I'm hoping that throughout the weeks I can actually help out someone that might need help in the morning time, whatever the case is, before I go to work. So because I'll be working at nighttime. So I'm excited about that. That's something. Um, I know in my last previous videos, and I talked about just jumping in the car and just leaving Florida and just find new work. But to be honest, that doesn't make any
That's
sense.
not ideal.
No, that's not ideal. Not saying that people have not done it. No.
But it's not ideal for our situation, especially to it,
Mhm.
it's not ideal for our situation, especially since like we don't have all the ways to accomplish that right now, and that wouldn't be the smartest move to do because when we get to Florida, or if my dad goes to Florida, right, and I have to still continue what I have to do here, what exactly is he going to do even for the first day he's in Florida? It's going to take a while for him to find that line of work that he wants to do. It's going to take a while for him to find those resources to even be comfortable. And I and he realized during that time it should be no point of going somewhere that he's not going to be comfortable and it's a chance that he won't find it right away. And if he could just stay here in Philadelphia and figure out the line of work, plan it out, have a full plan that's smart enough and thought of, and he wants to do it enough, and he goes and do it off of that plan, and it's just smarter because it's planned out. If you if you start something, if especially that far, you will want to finish it, and it's not going to happen in a short amount of time. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. And more important, like what happened with the school situation? What happens while you being in school and not? It's God forbid something happens. I really don't have a huge support where they can, and
Someone can rush and do something.
yeah, and I get it, since you are being homeschooled, it does make things a little easier, whatever the case may be, but you still have, things can happen any given time. So it's like,
Stuff could happen in the household, and my dad won't be here to help me figure it out. Anything could happen, and that's really for anybody. Something could happen in Florida, and I wouldn't even know about it because, well, one, I'm not with him, and two, he has nobody in Florida for real.
Yeah, so that's true. That's very true. And for me, I think it becomes one of those situations where it's like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? I'm definitely rocking with it. Anybody putting new? I seen a new comment on there.
No, it's no new comments.
Oh, okay. I just saw something pop. That was a new comment. But yeah, yeah, that's definitely so true. So now it becomes like now it becomes some hard question. How do you truly feel about the company? Because at some point, someone's going to say, "Well, your dad fell. Like, his company fell. Why should we listen to him? And what does he have to? What does he bring to the table is different for anybody else that actually being successful and haven't had a failed company? Because someone might say, well, y'all lost your contract. It must be a reason y'all lost your contract.
Well, let me just say this. My dad did not fail at all. Like, I want to say that and put that out there. My dad didn't fail, not even a little bit. Because if he could still provide, protect, and do everything he has to do continuously, he did not fail for nothing. So, and if someone says that, then they could go kick rocks for real. But
Yeah, I love that. I love
but
that.
but honestly, what I would respond to that is, how's your work doing? How are you doing? How are you doing in life? Because there should be no reason why other people are commenting, saying other things about my dad or about him losing his contract, his company, and all that, if they don't even got their life figured out to speak on it. And um how I feel about him losing the contract is miserable because I seen him put all this work and sacrifice in his line of work for so long, and it's just going off of an email. Like, maybe that's not the case, but that's how I look at it. It's just going. And no matter how my dad will try, like, it's going. But I feel like this is also not totally bad because it opens up more of the door to go after what he's been wanting to do, which is his captain's license. So
Yeah,
now he's gonna just keep grinding, and he's gonna still do what he gotta do. So for somebody else to say that he failed, then y'all need to get your eyes and ears and all your senses checked because that's not the case. So
yeah, I appreciate that. That's
yeah,
and to be honest with you, like I can honestly say, like you have been extremely supportive. You know, during this time, you have been extremely understanding, and for that, I'm so grateful to have you, and I'm so thankful. You know what I mean, in so many different ways because you know I don't know. It's just like like it's always important to have at least one person in your corner that believes in you and supports you and wants to see you grow and get to the next level. And then you know that for so long that this has been a huge dream of mine of becoming a boat captain. So for me, it's become more like, all right, once I get my seat time, while I'm getting my seat time, I can also be working on getting my boat. So I have found a couple of boats. I found a couple ones that will work perfectly. I know eventually. I know you trying to get into welding, so maybe you and I can maybe weld our own boat one day and be able to build that. But in the meantime, I know that once we able to secure a boat and get it to become seaworthy, then we can then at that point we can start looking at marketing. And this is all the process we want to go through. But I also believe that this gives us the opportunity to be flexible enough to be able to go to Puerto Rico and try something different. Because one thing about like being, in Puerto Rico, you don't you don't necessarily need everything you need to be like we need here. So I think that I'm looking at certain things. I gotta see if it's that's not what now I'm thinking about it, that's not an option we can look at. We can do some research to see if Puerto Rico still require how many hours it requires to get the seat time in Puerto Rico.
and we could go over there and figure all
Figure
this
it
stuff
out.
out over
Hmm.
there, because most likely he will be more guaranteed than America, or not America,
Yeah, 'cause it's still America.
but I guess
No, I know. Some
Like
people,
still here. It's
yeah,
still America. It's still part of the United States. But they did a lot to get it like that.
yeah,
So
for sure.
um, but I mean like it'll be maybe a lot efficient more over there than over here.
Yeah, I think so too. I really believe that. And it gives us the opportunity to make other. Yeah, I remember. I recall one of my aunts when she was struggling, and she was living here in America. She was struggling, and she decided to move to Puerto Rico, and she started her own business. Where she was like cooking food on like Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. It was like 3 days out the week, and she was making more money out there and making and selling food than she made here in America. Now, granted, at that time, Puerto Rico was much cheaper to live there, which now has become extremely expensive to be in Puerto Rico. So I think that's one of those things that I think that's one of those things that that's a beautiful boat.
Yeah, it is. It's big.
Yeah, right here. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. See, something like that. I wish I can get my seat time so I can become get my master license. But this is our view, man. This is beautiful, beautiful.
Everybody fishing,
Benjamin Franklin. It's beautiful out here. People
enjoying
fishing, enjoying
family.
family. You hear the ducks.
I'm getting sunburned.
Gigi said she's getting sunburned, so we're gonna call it. We're gonna call this. We're gonna call this quits in a little bit. And yeah, we was on here for almost 30 minutes, so that's pretty impressive. I think that if y'all guys have any questions you want to ask us, if there's any support y'all want to reach out to us, definitely in the description you can
You can
you,
always leave comments on videos too.
yeah, yep, you can always see the comments, and then
Someone commented, but it's like the sun. I love Ken Carson. Well, anyways, hi.
what they say.
That's their username.
Okay, hey, how y'all doing? Where you from? It's kind of hard to see out here with all this sun. Let's want to walk somewhere that's a little more shade.
What happened?
Want to walk somewhere that's a little more shade.
It's crowded over there.
Hmm?
It's crowded over there.
It is. Should have stayed where it was at.
Yeah.
But we had never had this beautiful sun beaming on my big forehead.
Yeah, he got like a 6 head, y'all.
He coming back?
No, let us know where you're from. Let's see how far we reached.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Well, somebody said it was from France, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, somebody said it was from France.
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But
And that's one of your subscribers,
yeah,
cause they stayed on for like 20 minutes.
that's fire.
Well, thank you for commenting. Everything helps, and thanks for supporting. Leave a like, and make sure y'all put on y'all post notifications so y'all could always be um
Notified, yeah.
reminded and notified when we're going live or it's a new video that dropped. Cause my dad's videos be fire.
Yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, hopefully we can continue to grow this channel, continue to and if you are interested in seeing boat work, um, starting over, motivational stuff, just building with your kids. If you're into building with your kids and building with, you know, I don't know, all y'all parents out there, definitely let me know. Put your comments on there. I'm definitely looking to do a live, maybe a second live throughout the week, where
Tomorrow?
no, something we can plan out, like something like a live where people can actually get on and talk to us live, like almost like a radio show. That'd be fire.
Yeah, maybe like Friday.
Like a Fridays
Yeah, because I
or maybe Thursdays.
mhm.
Thursdays, because Friday people we want to do things. Maybe like Wednesday, Thursday, we can probably plan.
Something throughout the middle of the week so it's like easy to be able to join.
And if you have kids and like I said, if you have kids and y'all going through whatever the kids case may be, we're not professionals, we're not therapists, we're definitely, I'm definitely a parent that has gone through a lot, from legal the custody.
And a very understanding parent.
Yeah, for sure. So and you know, um, and if you want to definitely hear our advice and hear what we have to say, maybe we can set something up where you can call us and with the kids, and we can have conversation and just for advice or whatever the case might be. This channel is about growing together. It's about building a community.
And expressing yourself.
Yes, being free.
We
Um,
don't judge.
we don't judge over here because we ain't perfect ourselves, so we will never judge. But our goal is to continue to grow this channel, continue to show the lifestyle of us growing and getting to your next level. Because there's no such thing as that you're too old to start over again. So I'll leave you with that. You're never too old to start over again,
Yeah,
and
my
that
dad, my dad, 42 years old.
yep, and I
He about to start his whole journey over, and he's about to thrive. He's not gonna survive no more. He been surviving for too long. He
fast.
gonna he gonna thrive, and he gonna get this boat maybe like as soon as he can, because when he gets his tea time in, when I tell you, this man, he's been looking forward to this for so long, and I'm gonna be here the whole ride and because like he deserves it. He deserves everything that's great and that's happening to him. See, not everything that's happened to him, but he's all the great things that happen.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
um when we get this boat, yo, I hope y'all all look forward. Like I hope y'all all stay tuned into this journey, because this is about to be a lit channel.
Yeah, and not just that. I think that I think if you're somebody that's young and you might live in one of the states there they don't have the opportunity to go and get a boat like like they don't have like an ocean or don't have access to an ocean or a lake or something like that. I think there's one of the channels that can show you like, hey, you can still do it even if you don't have access to, because the goal is for us to grow not only a business together, but continue to just grow. Period. That's what it's all about, man. 2026, we can't change what's going on in the economy. We can't change what curveball goes our way. We can't change anything, but what we can change is us, our mindset. What we can
Yeah,
change.
my dad's main focus is about, he mainly changed his mindset. Like if it wasn't for his mindset to be changed, he'll be like any typical old man. But like,
Be careful, because this one, we don't.
no,
What do you mean, typical old
I
man?
mean, like that they have one mindset and they stick to it. Like my dad and a lot of people are trying to grow and they have the mindset to grow, but the main thing is to go at it.
Yeah,
Like if
for
you
sure.
can't go at it, but you change your mindset, maybe you don't have the resources, maybe you don't have the support that you need or want to do it, but we're always here to support you because you're supporting us.
Yeah, that's facts.
We're
That's
committing a, we're Whoa, we are making a community, so we're trying to expand it and make sure y'all feel the same support you're giving us.
Yep. So, like I said, like we're definitely looking forward to doing another particular date. So yeah, Saturday morning, um, Saturday mornings around 12. Let's set it up every Saturday at 12 o'clock. Is when we get on here live and we make our live video.
Yeah, around 12 or 12:30.
Yep. So definitely look out for us every Saturday. Like I said, and as the channel grows and we continue to build this channel out, we're looking to add another day, maybe a Wednesday or Thursday, where you'll be able to jump on and call us and
Or
we can.
just ask a bunch of questions. We
Yeah.
always here to answer questions about how to grow or expand your mindset. Even if it's personal and you don't want to really post it on comments, you can always email my dad.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. That's very true. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let you go because it's definitely a little hot out here, and it was lovely talking to you guys, and we definitely had fun. It was entertaining. Look at this. Before we leave, we're gonna leave with this beautiful long shit. Look at this. Did I flip it? Oh, flip. Boom. Look at that.
Thank you so much for joining, everybody that joined, commented, and left a like. And make sure y'all turn on your post notifications so you're notified. And we're about to be out.
Deuce, deuce. To the next one. Bye.